more reporting's come out about the problems with hotel quarantine. Now, of course, there was the original problems with hotel quarantine where no one was to blame, and then they absolutely fixed the system, and then that completely fell apart. And then they absolutely fixed the system again, and then that didn't work. Remember, the no cameras in the hallways of hotels? So I think they're on the fourth version of hotel quarantine, but under current lockdown, they're not accepting many people into hotel quarantine. Joining us to talk about the endless failures of the Victorian government, particularly in and around hotel quarantine, even when they promise to have cleaned it all up and everyone has brand new shiny titles to prove it, is David Southwick, who is the Victorian Shadow Police Minister. David, give us an idea about just how many problems they had when they told us it's all been fixed.
Well, look, they're telling us now that, we've found out, actually, they're not telling us anything. This has all been swept under the carpet, that there are some 3,000 breaches of hotel quarantine. That's 12 incidents a day after Daniel Andrews described hotel quarantine as the safest and strongest program in Australia. It's had more restarts than a Victor lawnmower. It's been absolutely appalling. It really has. We had the code inquiry that they spent $20 million, 89 recommendations to try and get this thing right. And now we've discovered through FOI 3,000 breaches of hotel quarantine, some of which, 2,000 of which, are serious enough where they have to be escalated within 30 minutes. Paul, this is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. If any of these breaches effectively come out into what is the broader public, we have an outbreak. And who's to say some of the untraced, unsourced cases that we've had in Victoria haven't come from hotel quarantine in the first place? It's been swept under the carpet by the Andrews government. This is a story that they did not want any Victorian to know about, and now they're running around trying to cover up. We've just got the headlines on this. We need the full story, so we are pursuing it. We've asked Daniel Andrews today to come clean and tell us the details of these serious breaches, but it is a real concern to everybody at the moment.
I mean, it is, of course, extraordinary that public policy decisions lead to more than 800 people dying. 81 on one day was the worst. That in and of itself was a reason for the government to be flushed. Then, of course, we come back to the changes in the systems. And even when, as you say, they're out there saying, oh, you know, we're the gold standard, we're the best in the country. The reality was 3,000 separate issues that were happening in and around hotel quarantine. 3,000. Yet, I don't know whether I'm pretty sure you may not respond to this, but what is it about the body politic that this doesn't stick? How is it that this is not the absolute, last nail being driven as far into the political coffin as possible for this mob? Because not only do they stuff up when nobody has responsibility, but then when they gave everyone specific responsibility, they continue to stuff up.
It boils my blood to think that we've had over 800 people die from what is nothing more than an absolute poorly, disgraceful managed system that no one wanted to take any accountability or responsibility for, even to this day. And to think that we've got a Premier that has boasted about how good it is now, and we're back to square one. And, he's rolled out the current person in charge, who's the former Corrections Commissioner, and quite frankly, the hotel quarantine, with the kind of breaches we're hearing, staff assaults on staff assaulting clients in hotel quarantine, breaches, people trying to escape. This is like a prison. Hotel quarantine equates to a prison in terms of what these breaches are, and they're trying to cover it up. I mean, seriously, this just shows that the government's not capable of managing anything. And now, when the government were boasting about how good things were, they're saying, well, hotels were never built for quarantining people. They were built for tourism. Everything will be okay when they build a purpose-built facility in Mickleham. But we know when you build a new facility and you've got the same management, you're going to end up with the same problems. And it is the same absolute fools that are going to be in charge here. And all us Victorians have to bear the brunt of this. We're going to have lockdown after lockdown. We're going to have outbreaks. When you've got a system that's not managed properly, a government that's not accountable for these, and no one taking responsibility.